Hello, everyone.
Have returned.
Hello, Starcat and Buffalo Chicken Guy. Thank you for the resub. Y'all, it's nice to be back on Twitch.
Have returned.
Thorite and Boom Bubble Pop, thank you. Thank you, everybody. It has been... Thank you for the hype train. Here we go. Hype train going strong. I see everyone in chat, so sorry about the house. Yeah, it's been a couple days, y'all. I have right now, I'm wearing a shirt that I got when I visited Shakespeare's Globe Theatre in London. Obsessed. And I'm drinking some tea that I got from Christchurch in Oxford from Classy Librarian, from our very own Jenny. So I'm fully embodying the London portion of my trip right now. Our trip took a turn about halfway through. So London was awesome. I got to see Jenny. I got to do the Tower of London, and our yeoman that took us on the tour was hilarious.
Our modest fellowship
and
expands.
we had a great time.
Praise the
We got to
sun.
spend a day in Oxford with Jenny, which was absolutely awesome. We went to a real pub. I'm trying to think what else we did. We did a lot of stuff while we were in London, and it was awesome. And then we got to Paris, and within like a day or two of being in Paris, we got a phone call that someone had passed away in our family. So that was super sad, and, you know, we obviously couldn't do much about it from the other side of the world. It was someone who had been sick for a while, but it's still very sad. And then in Paris, like the next day or 2 days later, my poor husbando started feeling like chest tightening. Oh no, it was the very beginning of Paris that poor husbando started feeling like chest tightening and issues with no, we don't mess with that. So we went to the ER in Paris, which was lovely. European healthcare is awesome in comparison from our experience, at least. And luckily all their tests returned nothing wrong, but we're getting it looked at now that we're back, of course. So that was kind of like the stress of Paris, were those two things. And then the first morning we woke up in Italy, we got a phone call from our friends who were watching our house that there had been a leak in our house sometime in the couple days since they had been there last, that leaked so bad it made a hole in the wall and leaked into the neighboring rooms. And so bless our friends, they took all of our towels, our bath towels, our pool towels, and tried to like soak up some of the water and like dam up the leak and move a computer that was on the ground in a flooded room and guitars that were on the ground in the flooded room. And they did the best that they could, but we were sleeping because it was Italy time. And so we woke up and saw their text messages. Obviously, we freaked out. And then called them and told them, like, where our main water shutoff is. And they were so lovely. It was, like, the middle of the night for them. They drove back to our house and turned off our water main shutoff. But anyway, we knew this then was something we'd have to deal with when we got home. So from Italy, bless my husband for being the real MVP of the situation. He... was like calling remediation companies, calling construction companies, giving them remote access to our home to come in and set up the fans and the dehumidifiers and all that kind of stuff. But of course we didn't see any of the issues until we got home.
A kind gesture.
So, very good friends indeed, Catnip Commando. Yeah, Classy! Thank you, Classy. Classy and Eardle and Lord Vader and Chappelle and Leaked Prism. Thank you all so much for the resubs. Good to see some friendly names in chat. But yeah, so we tried to take care of as much of it as we could from Italy. And then, like, obviously, while we had a lot of fun stuff scheduled in Paris and Italy, the medical stuff and the death in the family, you know, like put a bit of a hamper on the Paris portion. And then finding out our house was like destroyed, put a damper on the Italy portion. So I'm hoping that once we're kind of out of the tunnel of everything that's happening right now, we'll be able to look back on the things that we did on this vacation favorably. I'm sure that we will. We just need to get out of, and I need to get out of this mental space that I'm currently in. So thank you to everyone. Thank you for the bits, everybody. And Be Right UK, thank you for the resub. Thank you to everybody that reached out on social media to say, like, I'm so sorry. How can I help? I appreciate it. A bunch of people have asked if we're going to set up a GoFundMe, and the plan is not to. The plan is, hopefully, this is what homeowners insurance is for. So the plan is that homeowners insurance should cover the majority of it. But, ooh, man, like, the damage that we've talked about with the construction people and the remediation company and stuff so far is like, whoo, it's in the very high 5, if not 6 figures, that it's going to be totally to fix all the stuff that is damaged in the house. So it's a lot. Catch-22 says, I've done water remediation work before. It's always rough. Yeah, it's wild. It's wild. Oh my gosh, everybody. 16-Bit Banter and Albarac and Catnip Ninja and Ricky Jay-Z and Tank Shade X and J-Bugs. Thank you all so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Leaked says, did all your texts survive? This room survived. It's a miracle. And it's a wonderful miracle because I will need to keep making money to pay for all of this. So at least this room's okay. And even if we end up during part of the construction process not being able to live in this house, I can still come here and work. So this will be like my office. We're hoping that we'll be able to stay in the house. Obviously, as they tear down walls and tear up floors, they'll find out if there's a mold situation. And, you know, our plan is to take it all day by day. Oh my gosh, thank you for the bits, everybody. I'm trying to follow all this.
Expands. Praise the sun.
My goodness, thank you for the bits. Aviator Dan, Fun Loving Criminal, Be Right UK, thank you for gifting 10 community subs. All right, we definitely are Hype Train Alapalooza. Alien Tech 2044, Ridian M, Joker Joe, thank you all so much and welcome back. Yes, don't forget to stretch. I see you. I got it. Tekken Tool says once it's started, you won't want to be there. It's a mess. I know, but this is I know it's not a logical response, but so much of my response is this is our home. Like, this is the hub of our everyday life. We're just trying to get Logan situated with back to school. Like, there are already so many things in flux and changing that I'd really like to keep home base if we can, even if we can only use half of it. So yeah, we'll see. We'll see. Chappelle, I didn't see anything that looked moldy. We'll see what they say about, like, the mattress in that bedroom, the bedding in that bedroom, and, of course, when they tear out the drywall and tear up the floors, if they find anything in or around there. D Tato GT says, same thing happened to me a few years ago. I'm so sorry. This is wild. It's wild. Yes, classy. There's so many things up in the air that I just want to save space. It's wild. And again, I know there were people that were asking, like, hey, how can we be of help? How can we support? The best thing that you can do to support us right now, this is going to sound so silly, but if you see me post sponsored content, that is me getting paid, and that money is going directly towards all of these bills. So if you see me post sponsored content, like I just put up today on Instagram and TikTok and YouTube Shorts, please engage with it.
A kind gesture.
Like that content, leave a little comment, share it. I know Instagram's all about the shares metric now. Share it with me. Just click share that post and share it with me. Save it. Full disclosure, y'all, I might be taking a lot more sponsored posts in the next month or two. Because right now, gaming between the voiceover strike and tech, gaming and tech both have like major layoffs and budget setbacks, and entertainment right now is pulling back. Everybody's pulling back budget. So the hosting jobs are not aplenty right now. So there might be some real zingers of sponsored content. But if you can like it, comment on it, save it, share it with a friend. Like I said, share it with me. That will ensure that brands keep wanting to pay me, which means that I can keep paying the water damage bills. So, thank you.
Returned.
Thank you in advance. If there's one that you can do, it's engage with SpawnCon. Mod has taught you well. That is honestly, like, I don't want to... I have weird feelings about doing, like, crowdfunding in any way. Because I just, I want to, like, work my buns off to make that money to pay those bills. But if you can support my work, thank you. Thank you. Colin says instructions unclear. I forgot to click the share button. Silver says, I think hugs are in order. Hugs for everybody. Hugs for everybody. I know I need it. I don't know if you need it, but I know I need it. But yeah, things that we did in Paris that were really cool. The Paris catacombs were awesome to see, but don't do it if you're claustrophobic. We had dinner at this great restaurant where you could see the Eiffel Tower from the patio. It was called 20 Eiffel. Highly recommend.
Praise the sub.
What else?
A kind gesture.
We did a macaroon baking class. That was really cute. And we sat at cafes and had some of the best wine I've ever had in my life. Starcat says I'm broke, but you can bet I'll be liking and sharing it back at Shish. Thank you. See, that's the thing. Like I said, we're hoping insurance will cover a lot of it. But as any of you who've dealt with insurance know, that could be an ongoing battle that takes months and months and months and months, if not years. Because insurance will fight you on everything, which means we're going to have to pay for everything all up front, which of course is making me make this face.
Returned.
Right now. Water issues always happen when we leave the house. It's absolutely bonkers. You got the same pic of the heart skulls at the Paris catacombs. That's awesome. And yeah, then in Italy, we had all this fun stuff scheduled. We did a pasta and pizza making class, and Logan, of course, said the pizza he made was the best pizza he's ever had in his life. We also did... Oh, in Paris, we did a chocolate and pastry tasting tour. Highly recommend. In Italy, we did see the Vatican and the Sistine Chapel. I did get to see the Colosseum and the Forum. And, like, as someone that studied Latin, that was so cool to see in person. Yeah, I'm trying to... Oh, we did a gladiator training course where me, Nate, and Logan all had a 2-hour class to train us to fight like gladiators. And that was really funny. Forlorn Night, yes, we are on that. We are on that page already. Sadly. Yes, we're tracking everything, for sure. I got to see Josephine when I was in London. That was awesome. All right, more thanks and a giveaway coming up. FS Duke, Sticky Side Down, Calm Side Dude, thank you. Thank you for the gift subs. Meg Grimlock, thank you as well. SVid25, thank you. Steven, thank you. You guys are amazing. Thank you for the bits, Forlorn Night. Joker Joe, Ridian, so good. Honestly, it feels nice to read familiar chat names. PS Weech, thank you for the gift subs as well as Wu-Tang T, welcome back.
Praise the sub.
Ridian, it felt weird to have me just hours away from you. Thank you, Tank Shadex. I appreciate that so much. How did I like the Nebula projector? I had a great time with it in the time that we played around with it. It's funny, in that reel, the sponsored reel that I posted today for the Nebula projector, I had reviewed other Nebula projectors for Amazon before, but Nebula reached out directly and was like, do you want to review our new one? And I was like, oh, well, they didn't say, do you want to review? Because I don't do paid reviews. This is my, like, personal ethics policy. If it's a piece of sponsored content, I will run down all of the features in the piece of sponsored content, but it's more educational than it is opinionated, if that makes sense. Because I don't think you can really have any kind of unbiased review if a company has to review it and make edits. You know what I mean? Like, that's a little tricky. Anywho, you can see in that piece of sponsored content the myriad of different ways we were using it in our house to test it out. And you can certainly do a lot with it because it's so tiny. So again, please check out that sponsored reel I posted today. Like it, leave a comment, share it, save it, engage. That will be super helpful. Appreciate that. I'll stress test your product with a hammer. I will if it's for Amazon. Bigger on the inside said, but watching on the ceiling, it was actually very relaxing to like lay in the love sack, which now I'm going to get sad about because the love sack was one of the things affected. And that room where we're laying on the love sack, watching it on the ceiling, that room is all going to be torn up. I'm very sad. That's why I put on there, like, if you want to see what my house looked like before it got destroyed, please watch this sponsored reel. Thank you, JMT Groovy. I appreciate you. Not the love sack. I know. We think we might be able to salvage that. It's honestly, it's going to take us a long time to go through. Like, I'm dreading turning on that computer. I don't even know if I should turn on that computer. It was sitting on a carpet that got soaked, so it's probably done. Same thing with the guitars, same thing with all of Logan's toys. Like, we're going to have to go through things one at a time and look at it and say, is this salvageable or is this destroyed? And just, like, make lists one at a time. And I feel like it's going to take us a while to go through all of that. Chappelle, everyone's saying put it in rice. I'm not going to put it in rice. Rob, nothing in this room got affected. Nothing in this room got affected. Yeah, it was all downstairs stuff. I hope we can save the toys, too. Some of the toys that were on the bottom shelf that got affected, I feel like Logan's... We've already briefed him. We keep calling it the house boo-boo to him. And we're like, the house has a big boo-boo right now, and it might mean that we need to rebuy some stuff.
Returned.
Just fill the whole downstairs with rice. I mean, that's essentially what those fans and dehumidifiers are. Yes, Rand, I bought this at the Globe Theater. I loved it. All right, let me get a little... Let's see what we got in terms of a giveaway code, because you all are being so lovely right now with the hype train. Let's see what we got. Ooh! I've got a really fun one for you. I've got a PC copy of a game called Magical Delicacy that we played on The Gong Show. So let me go ahead and get
a new subscriber.
Nightbot ready.
Come, steal yourself.
For a little giveaway.
We are building an army.
We are building an army. Thank you, everybody. And also, extra thank you, because you know when you go away, like, I don't know if you've heard this from other streamers, but you go away... And obviously your subscriber count plummets.
Our modest fellowship expands.
When you go away, which I totally
Praise
get it.
the
You're
sub.
not making content. That makes sense. But yeah, I was already nervous about taking 2 weeks away from work. And I was already nervous about spending the money for the vacation. So to come home and find out, like, now work is going to be impacted further, potentially, probably, and you're going to have to spend even more money, was like, neat. Yeah, I cried a lot. That's what I'll say. I cried a lot because it's my house and I'm emotional about it. And it's the hub of everything for me. It's the hub of work. It's the hub of family. It's the hub of everything. I'm trying to take it one day at a time and be reasonable about it now. All right. So the word to type in if you want to be entered for the giveaway, and this is my way of thanking you for us all completing a level 5 hype train, is magic, because I'm giving away a PC copy of Magical Delicacy on stream. So just type the word magic into chat. As always, subs are twice as likely to win.
Return.
So thank you. Hi, Train. Thank you, everybody. And Lurka, Meg Grimlock, Dust in the Wind, Snack Pack, Drusmack, Shoto Drag, thank you all so much. Vegeta 25ers, thank you as well. PS Weech, Thank you. Thank you, everybody. Just go ahead and type magic in the chat. One thing that I will say was like magic. When I was in Paris, my 5 years of French that I took between high school and college kind of served me okay. I thought I was going to be like totally lost, but I ended up like having very, very basic conversational French, but like enough to get me by in most encounters, which was really neat. So I was really excited about that. Did I pig out while I was there? Oh yeah. Oh yeah. We did a whole 2 to 3 hour tasting tour in Paris that was just a chocolate and pastry tour. But honestly, I thought Paris was going to be the foodie part of the trip, but Rome outdid it. All the food we had in Rome, from like the street food to the more fancy food, all of the food in Rome was amazing. Maybe it's because I'm part Italian. I don't know, but all the food in there was great. Leaked Prism says the Parisians are really helpful if you try to speak French. Yes! So all we had heard is like, oh, people in Paris don't like Americans, like they're going to be really rude to you, wait for it. But everyone, I will say, was mostly pretty nice. Now, I definitely followed the rule of every time you walk in a building, you say bonjour. And if I was really having a hard time, I knew enough French to say, je suis désolé, mais je ne parle pas français, parlez-vous anglais? Like I knew enough to get me there. But yeah, everyone was pretty nice. Chappelle says, also, I learned that you went to college for theology. I did. Well, I went to school for theater was my major, but theology was my minor. I found it fascinating. And I always thought theology and theater were such a weird combo until someone looked right at me and said, oh, you were a D&D kid. And I was like, oh my gosh, yes, that makes so much sense. Odyssey Dave says, I don't speak French, but last time I was in Paris, someone apparently mistook me for a local and asked me for directions, which I felt validated my fashion choices. Yeah, for sure. Zarknor and Aishun and A Kerbo and Lurka, thank you all. Welcome back. But yeah, I did study theology in college. I also studied Latin through high school and college. So that was really cool being in Rome, seeing all the Latin everywhere and thinking, oh my gosh, I can finally use this. Only a little bit, though. Only a little bit. Do people still smoke a lot in Paris? People still smoke a lot more in Europe in general than they do in the United States. There was a lot more of that in general that we found. And we weren't really super used to that. Dark Lamba and Carmelita, thank you. Dark Lamba, I would love to hear your recommendations next time I'm in London. But yeah, one of our tour guides that we had while we were in Paris, I think, was explaining to us that, or no, it wasn't one of our tour guides. It was my brother-in-law. My brother-in-law met up with us while we were in Paris. He lives in Berlin now, so it was cool to see him. He was like, yeah, I'll make the trip from Berlin, no problem. So it was cool to see my brother-in-law, but he was explaining that, like, he feels like the attitudes on tobacco and marijuana are swapped from the United States versus Europe. Odyssey Dave says, better wine in Paris or Rome? Let's start a fight. I know that's a big fight. I can only speak to the glasses of wine I had, but the best glass of wine I had was in Paris. But I had great wine in Rome as well. So, and again, it could just be up to the varietals that I chose. Although that last glass of wine I had at dinner, the second to last night in Italy, was fantastic. Yay, stream streaks. Blue Regal 81, welcome back. French wine is awesome, says Rob. I mean, yeah. And especially with all the things going on in the Paris and Italy portions of our trip, you know, I don't want to say I leaned harder into the wine, but I leaned harder into the wine. I was like, and of course Nate and I kept going, when in Rome, like a million times, which I'm sure everyone in Italy is sick of hearing from tourists, but Donna 1275, thank you. All right, did everybody who wanted to enter the giveaway enter the giveaway? Again, it's the word magic in chat if you want to enter. This is our thank you for a level 5 hype train. Did we go to any Paralympic events? No, we did not, but we did watch some on TV while we were in the ER in Paris. Ay, 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 y'all. So I did get to watch some of the Paralympics on television. Dark Lamba said, wait, what happened in Paris? I know. So Nate and I essentially missed seeing the Louvre because we were at the ER in Paris. Nate started, I guess, having chest pains at the very end of the London portion that would not go away for over 24 hours. And I was like, we do not mess with this. So we sent Logan and my brother-in-law on the Louvre tour without us, and Nate and I hung out in the ER in Paris for a while they ran a bunch of tests. And good news is all their tests came back that he's fine. Bad news is they have no idea what it is, and it kept happening for the rest of the vacation. So now that we're home, in addition to dealing with the house disaster, Nate needs to figure out what's going on. We need to figure out with Nate what's going on with my husbando. Depfa says, just another weird question. Does our insurance work overseas? We didn't even have to think about insurance working overseas because at the ER in Paris, they were like, we'll send you a bill. Like, they took our passport info and we're like, we'll send you a bill, but honestly, it's going to be like 15 euros. And Nate and I were both like, what? What? So, I mean, if we would have gotten all the tests done that Nate got done at the ER in Paris, if we would have gotten all that done here, it would have cost us way more, even with our insurance. So, and the ER in Paris, by the way, multiple types of tests run, by the way, and we were in and out in 2.5 hours. In the ER.
Have returned.
In and out in 2.5 hours. Like, I was like, US ER, you're sitting there for 6+ hours. Easy. Yeah, it was awesome. I have nothing but kind things to say about the healthcare in France. The Yotes fan says, healthcare is good here too. It just comes with a side of bankruptcy if without insurance. Yay, freedom. Yeah, I don't know. We've had insurance always, and it still costs thousands and thousands of dollars after insurance to have a baby or, get a biopsy done or anything like that. No, your aunt had her cellar flooded too? Tank, no. SVID, it was tough, honestly. I was trying not to, throw myself too much of a pity party, but it was definitely here's the Sistine Chapel, it's beautiful. Oh, my house is destroyed. I was definitely ping-ponging back and forth. Or, and especially walking around the Sistine Chapel, anytime Nate was, 15 feet or so behind us, I knew it was because he was hurting, right? So then I'd, leave Logan with our tour guide and run back and check on my husband. There was a lot going on. Ugh. I don't know, Forlorn Knight. That's a good question. Ask the Pope if he has a couple of spare rooms. We did see the building in Italy that used to be the Pope's residence and is now, I guess, the President's residence that we were told has 500 rooms in it. So they definitely have spare rooms. Not that we're going back soon because I need to work as much as I can possibly work right now. Junior Dax, it's going to get... So the TLDR with the house is it's going to get worse before it gets better. Because when there's water damage, and I know any of you that have dealt with water damage before know this, the first step is dry it all up, assess moisture in the floors and walls, and then rip everything out to make sure there's no mold behind it. So we are currently in the drying everything out phase, not the ripping everything out phase yet. And the ripping everything out phase is also going to be the phase where we have to look at each thing that was impacted and say, is this destroyed or can we keep this? So I anticipate that all of that's going to take a long time. It is dry in LA right now. Also, I don't know if any of you were planning on going to TwitchCon. I'm probably not going to go to TwitchCon now. Because we're going to need to do so much with the house, and for me to travel and pay for a hotel for TwitchCon and all that kind of stuff doesn't make sense right now. I don't have the funds right now to go to TwitchCon, nor the time. So I think I'm gonna stay here and just deal with everything here, given the circumstances, which is a bummer. I really wanted to go, and if that changes and I end up driving down for a day, I'll let everybody know. But Nitram says, read through your policy as well as far as the parameters around whatever broke. Yeah, we've already had the insurance adjuster out. We've already had him out, and he was like, this is very cut and dry. So he was very positive that everything reasonably would be covered. It was not our water heater. No, it was a supply. We think it was a supply tube from the wall to the toilet. But we also think there might be greater plumbing problems in the house, which I'm very nervous about, because if it is that, then we've got a lot bigger bill on our hands.
You have returned.
Captain Fathom could be anxiety. Could be anxiety, I don't know. Atomic Doc, thank you for the resub. And yes, posture check. Sonara Snake, I got you. There we go. Posture check, sitting up. Yeah, cut and dry too soon. But I am calming down with some of my Christchurch tea from Classy Librarian. I'm having that right now. My house has had a full copper repipe from the owners before us. So we don't think it's that. But the reason that it might be... So the house was built in the 80s, but it's had a full copper repipe from the owners before us, as far as we know. That's what we were told. But the reason we think it might be a greater issue is we have weird water pressure in this house, and have for at least the last year, if not the whole time we've lived here, where we have really intense water pressure in this house. And also, about 3 or 4 days before we left for our trip, all of the toilets in the house started, like, having murky water. Where, like, Nate and I would be razzing each other, like, hey, did you forget to flush? And we were both like, no, I swear I flushed. I'm not just leaving it in there for everybody. And so, to me, the fact that it's, like, all 3 of the toilets makes me think it's like something from the main into the house, maybe. So anyway, we're going to have like an emergency plumber come out and give everything a big ol' once over. But if they discover that there's a bigger problem, obviously that wouldn't be covered by insurance. That would just be like home upkeep. Water from the sink is not brown. Water from the sink is fine. And when you flush the toilet, the new water that comes in is fine. It's like you flush the toilet, everything looks fine, looks totally clear. But if no one's used that toilet for like 12 plus hours, then you go back, the toilet water kind of looks like there's like a little pee in it still or something. No dark murky water in bathtub. Classy says, I need to do the same thing in my house, but I can't afford that right now. I see, yes, Classy, that's exactly where my brain is I'm like, this is not... Like I said, I was already nervous about taking 2 weeks off work for the vacation and spending the money for the vacation in a year that, like, work has been slow for me. But I was like, you know what? We saved up for a long time for this vacation. If I don't, like, set some dates, we're never going to do it. I'll just keep putting it off, so let's just do it. So then to come home to way more bills and potentially way more time that I can't work is honestly terrifying. Yeah, it's terrifying. So again, thank you to everybody that is engaging with my sponsored content. Thank you. And I apologize if there's like a crap ton of sponsored content in the next month or two. But I would rather make the money that way than doing a GoFundMe and asking my friends and family for charity. You know what I mean? I'd rather work my buns off to make it happen. Steven says more sponsored content. Hopefully it'll all be fun. I at least try to make it fun and on brand. I'm not going to be like, hey guys, drink this skinny tummy tea or whatever that thing was called. Oh, I keep forgetting to do the giveaway. All right, giveaway. Here we go. Here we go. You guys have been so generous with the hype train today. Here's it coming back to you. Dress Matt! You just won yourself a copy of Magical Delicacy. Thank you so much for being amazing. I'm going to Twitch whisper that to you right now. Speaking of things people won, I did not get all of the posters out from the charity stream before I left, and now my garage is a disaster. So I will humbly ask for your patience, that it might take me a while to get those out because my garage is one of the demolition zones at the moment. But I will get to it as soon as I can, and I promise I haven't forgotten about anybody. Yeah, you can. I'm sure you can hear it in like my voice that my anxiety is just absolutely through the roof. I had a dental appointment this morning, and they were like, "You need to stop grinding your teeth." And I'm like, "Girl, the last 2 days, I am surprised I have not ground my teeth down to nubs at this point." And I'm also still totally, shout out to all of you across the pond. I am also still totally on EU time. Last night and the night before, I woke up at 1 a.m. here time and couldn't get back to sleep. So I'm just rocking on like 4 hours of sleep each night. And I mean, I can't get back to sleep because I'm so anxious about everything. Ugh. Aw, Sweet Rye says when you do sponsored content, I don't feel like it's a sponsored item. Good. Well, like I said, I always give my honest opinions. I try to make the content fun. How's the bar? The bar is fine.
A resplendent offering.
Thank goodness. Oh, no. Who just did that? Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Let me see if it will let me see what that just was. Sorry, it takes me a while sometimes when those come through. So thank you. Thank you for your generous, resplendent offering, is what I will say. I can't see exactly what it is yet, but I'll see it in a moment. Okay. No, I don't want to take the cookies. Thank you for the Disaster Relief Fund donation, Depfost. That's very, very kind of you. And if anyone else did any donations that came through and I missed them, thank you in advance. Let's see. Forlorn, you broke your arm on the 26th. I'm so sorry. And you've been grinding and chewing your cheeks constantly. I do that too. I'm the worst with that. Yeah, the bar is fine. Because the bar was one of the more recent things done to the house, it's pretty well sanctioned off from everything else. But yeah, the bar's fine and the kitchen's fine, which are the two things we did most recently to the house. So that's amazing. That's really good. And I am hopeful. It's so funny because it all hinges on small things. It's like if they can find the hardwood flooring match, then they might only need to do part of the hardwood floor and not the entire hardwood floor. So I'm just sitting here like, please find that match. But just one day at a time. We're going to take it all one day at a time. Little man is doing amazing with all of it, honestly. He is really doing lovely. We've told him, like, you know, we might have to go stay somewhere else for a little bit, and our house has a big boo-boo right now, and we might have to buy some things new. So he's honestly being a miracle. And yes, the tech in my office. So everything upstairs. So our bedrooms, the office, that's all fine, which is great, because honestly, if the bedrooms and like our clothes all got destroyed, or the studio got destroyed, that would be harder, which sounds silly, but that would be harder than our main living spaces. So it got our main living spaces but not our sleeping spaces. So I was like, if we stay here, even if we eat breakfast, lunch, and dinner in our bedrooms, I'll set up a little camping tent in Logan's room, and we'll make a big deal out of picnicking on the floor for the next 2 months. The office is upstairs, yeah. So the office and the bedrooms are fine. Just take samples of everything to see what's permanently damaged or moldy. Yeah, we got to figure it out. Like I said, I'm terrified to turn that computer back on. Poor Nate's he was like building a whole voiceover studio downstairs in the guest room, and that's what the PC was down there for. And like his guitar amp and all his guitars, all of that was down there. So we need to like go through all of that stuff little by little. Leaked Prism, I just bought a new mouth guard today. I'm sorry to hear that about your ex. I'm hoping that doesn't happen to me. So yeah, if anyone has any indie games they're making and needs a voiceover person, Nate would love to help you out with that. As a budding VO artist, my husbando. Speaking of the husbando, give a little wave. I was just telling them that all your voiceover stuff you've been working on is in the demo zone. My poor husband.
Well, it's in the dealing with a water leak zone right now.
That's what I mean.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, my whole VO setup is literally trash, so.
Your whole VO setup is trashed. Yep.
Mm-hmm. Oh, right.
Love you, babe. Whoo! Welcome to the Raiders! 16-bit Eric, thank you for the raid. How are you? Thank you for the raid. We're just chatting. This is my first day back from being out of town for 2 weeks, and I'm currently dealing with lots of stuff, which 16-bit Eric, I know you know. These balloons are for you, Raiders. If you don't know me, hi. My name's Trisha Hershberger, and I do like Shakespeare, and I'm also a little bit fierce. Welcome to the stream today. We're just chatting for a little bit, and then I thought maybe we'd check out some Star Wars Outlaws. I'm not going to be able to stream too much longer because I have again, thank you for supporting that hashtag ad content. I have a sponsored Amazon live stream at 3 o'clock today where I'm going to be showing off some Intel stuff, and I want to make sure that I have everything ready for that. So if any of you are free at 3 p.m. today, please, after this stream, come on by my Amazon stream and hang out for a little. I'm going to be showing off some Intel Gamer Days deals and stuff like that. Will I be playing Astrobot and Black Myth? I don't have a copy of Black Myth, but maybe. I do have a copy of Astrobot, thanks to PlayStation. They sent me a copy. And I have that scheduled for later this week. So want to check out Astrobot. I think on Thursday is when I put that there. Look at it, like, looks like it's time for Amazon to get your house renovated. Hashtag sponsored. I mean, if there are magically any sponsors out there watching this that are like furniture sponsors that want to help me replace all the destroyed furniture. Whew. You just got Astrobot today. Nice. Do I have an Amazon link? Yes, Depfast. All of my Amazon stuff is on amazon.com/shop/Trisha Hershberger. Or you can use Command Amazon in chat and it'll give you that link. But yes, I am going to be working overtime to make sure that we can fund everything going on right now. I don't have a public Amazon wish list, classy. And if I do, don't get anything off of it because it's not updated. It'll be a long haul fixing up. But yeah, I mean, the more, obviously, that Nate and I confront out of pocket, the quicker they can try to get things back to normal. So that's kind of what we're working on. 16-bit Banter says, does the Amazon link work in Canada? I don't know. I think so, but I'm not sure. Also, did we get a shout out for the raid? I want to make sure we got a shout out. Thank you, 16-bit Eric. Okay, good. I know we got one kind of shout out. Let me make sure we have the other one too.
A kind gesture.
Thank you again for the raid and trusting your community here. I hope I get to see you in person. Okay, Classy says I did both. Thank you, Classy. You are always on it and amazing, and I appreciate you. Thank you. But yeah, I mean, it's going to be a long haul. I did like Instagram story highlight with the stuff about the house so far, and I'm going to try my best to kind of document the whole process so that, God forbid, any of you are ever going through something like this, you have some kind of reference for what the process might look like. So I did I did a bunch of Instagram stories today about what it looks like now in the drying phase. And then I will do it once we've got like the demo phase. I'll show what that looks like. And then the construction phase. And then hopefully, eventually, the celebratory everything's back to the way it was phase. 6 figures of dollars later, everything will finally be back to the way it was supposed to be when we got home Saturday night. Be a homeowner, they said. It'll be great, they said. The documenting will be very helpful for that as well. Inquiring Mind says, why wait for it to dry before we rip everything out? So the thing we're actually waiting for to rip everything out is figuring out what we're going to do with the furniture. So our contractor that we're working with had recommended a pack-up company that comes in and like bubble wraps all your furniture and takes it and puts it in storage until the whole process is done. But that packing company quoted us $38,000 just for the pack-up. Right. Just for the pack-up and storage. So we have not gotten the things out of the rooms yet. And we're trying to figure out, do we want to move it? If we're going to move it, where can we move it to? Like, should we just move the stuff we want to keep into the garage? But basically, you know, the contractors are like, we can't rip up your floor and your walls until you get all this furniture out of here. And so we're like, all right, well, how much of the furniture is salvageable? Because I don't want to waste time or money trying to store something that's like the wood's all warped and destroyed anyway. And I'm pretty sure the whole bed set in that guest room is destroyed. I think all the wood's warped. Nate said you can see it clearly that all the wood's warped. And so, yeah, they're going to have to rip everything out, but after we move everything. So next steps are Nate and I figuring out, A, if there's a greater plumbing issue in the house that needs to be taken care of so it doesn't happen again. And B, what we're going to do with all the furniture and all of our stuff, like all Logan's toys, all of the coats and shoes that were in the coat closet, all of the stuff in the garage against the wall that they want to tear out. We have to figure out what we're going to do with all of that stuff. And then once we get all that stuff out of the way, then they can start demo. Where did the water come from? A toilet supply hose. And not that it was old even, because you're supposed to replace those every 5 years. It was not an old toilet supply hose, as far as we know. But like where it hooks into the next bit, I guess, came apart. And the water was spraying so hard it made a hole in the drywall. So yeah, I think to move all this stuff, Zor says, won't the insurance company help you? They are going to, but that's a slower process. So if we want to wait for the insurance company to pay for some of that, that's going to elongate everything by quite a bit. Thank you, Catch-22. I appreciate that. But yeah, I think what we might do, we've been so lucky to have a lot of friends reach out and say, how can I help? And for our friends that are local, we might call on them and be like, help us move this stuff out of these rooms. That might be the help we ask for. Is just having extra hands to help us move everything. But I don't know. Like I said, one day at a time. There will be new challenges every day throughout this process. Classy says, so you're planning to pay out of pocket and then the insurance will reimburse you. Yes. That is the hope if we can. Which is why we were like $38,000 just to move this stuff out of the rooms? No. No. We'll figure that out. Just to get it moving. Exactly. Because I don't want to wait like 3 weeks for the first insurance check to come before we can do anything. In that time, all this mold could grow in the walls and all sorts of other stuff. Compsci Dude says, send us details so we can send you DoorDash and Uber Eats. You're very sweet. Compsci Dude, I said this earlier. I don't know if you were here, but the biggest way people can help right now that aren't local is to support sponsored content so that I can keep getting jobs, so that I can pay all these big checks. Nate wrote like 3 big checks to people today. All these big checks to help. This is the frustrating part, to help make things as they were. It's not like big checks and we're getting a brand new, exciting remodel out of it. No. Big checks just to make things the way they were before we left. So yeah, please, the biggest way you can help with sponsored content is to engage with it. So leave a comment, like it, save it, share it with a friend. You can share it with me. Send it right back to me, but like Instagram in particular is looking at shares as their main
gleaming endowment.
thing. So share there. And that's super helpful.
You have returned.
Thank you, Dark Lamba. I appreciate that. We are going to be doing a lot of takeaway. We are, for sure. SVID says prices are already jacked for water damage repair. It's like how wedding costs are so high compared to party. Yeah, it's wild. Inquiring Mind, welcome back. Thank you for the resub. Appreciate you. But yeah, it's a lot all at once. So like I said, bummer is I'm probably not going to go to TwitchCon at all now. It's certainly not staying overnight or staying the whole weekend. If I do go, it'll just be to drive down for a little bit. But honestly, I didn't get my act together this year to be on any panels or organize any panels. And I was up for a hosting job for TwitchCon before I left for vacation. And my agent was supposed to be handling it. And I never heard anything else about it. So I don't have anything I have to be at TwitchCon for other than that I would like to be there. And so given everything going on, I can't justify spending the extra money or time to go, given everything else that's going on right now. I gotta be here. JDC says that stare though. I know. This is what I dread about taking time off work. Because I'm like, I know how I handle things. But when I need to relinquish control to other people is when I like have heart palpitations. Seifold says this is why we can't have nice things. But this is also why I am a high functioning anxiety person and work myself way too much. So, work-life balance is a thing.
A kind gesture.
But yeah, I would have loved to have had a hosting job at TwitchCon, especially given the current situation. That would have been really nice. But alas, that is not a thing. So I will stay home and my husband and I will go through, is this a keep or a toss? Is this a keep or a toss? About many, many belongings. Like, I'm hoping all the coats in our coat closet and all the shoes in our shoe closet are fine. I'm like, they're shoes. They should be somewhat weatherproof, right? But I don't know how much of, like, mustiness. I don't know how much that destroys things. I don't know. Yo, Konzo, I'm sorry. That is super stressful. Did you get it back? You thought they had your Gmail, but they didn't? Terrifying. And yes, Potato Bob, getting oatmeal raisin when you wanted chocolate chip is a tough pull, for sure. For sure. Geeky Heart, thank you. Any idea how many days things were underwater? So, our friends that were watching our house checked in on our house on a Saturday, and everything was fine. And then when they checked in on things on Tuesday, it was full-on disaster zone. So sometime between Saturday and Tuesday, this leak happened. And so, I mean, probably 24 plus hours, 24 to 48 hours maybe, of the leak active and stuff being underwater. Oh, Chicago. I'm glad it wasn't a heart attack. But I'm sorry that you deal with stress and anxiety. All right, Classy says sneaks can be washed in the washing machine. Coats can be dry cleaned. Okay. Okay. Yeah, when I thought I was having a heart attack years ago, they said it was acid reflux. It was heartburn. And so ever since then, I was diagnosed with GERD. GERD. And I've had many problems with it since then, so it was clearly that. But yeah, I thought I was having a heart attack at the time. Yes, Starcat says anxiety's fun. You start feeling like you're going to die, and that makes you more stressed. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. That's honestly when the dental hygienist looked at me today and said, you grind your teeth. And I was like, girlfriend, I've ground my teeth in the last 2 days. So much I'm surprised there's teeth left at this point. Yeah, that's a lot of time underwater. It'll have to be item to item. Exactly. Exactly. Does anybody know, this is going to be a weird question, but I know some of you have worked as like PC repair techs before. For the PC that was sitting on the carpet in one of the rooms that got flooded, it's now been up on a shelf in the room with the dehumidifiers and the dryers for like 4 days. How do we check if it still works? Should we just say, you know what, it doesn't work. It's a waste. Or is it, can I plug it in and turn it on and see? I've never had to deal with a water damaged PC before, so I just literally don't even know. Was it plugged in when it got wet? It was turned off, but it was probably still plugged into the wall, yeah. If the motherboard's on the side of the PC, you should be fine. Tank says I would not plug it in. The actual damage only happens when it's wet and turned on. Cold water leak, inquiring mind. I can't replace the PSU because it's an older Alienware where you can't replace the PSU. You'd be afraid of electrocution? Yeah, if it seems wet at all. Because, I mean, I can take the side off of it and look. Was the PSU underwater? I don't know. It was on wet carpet and wet carpet padding. I think the carpet and the carpet padding and the drywall absorbed it all. I don't think there was standing water on top of the carpet. Leaving it would be the safest, but look at the circuit boards for corrosion or residue. Yeah, maybe go inside with a dry cloth. Yes, I have an L-shaped desk, Justin Blue. Yeah, I don't think I can swap the power supply. It's an old Alienware pre-built. Well, it's not that old. It's an Alienware Aurora R13. So they're on the R16 now. So it's at least 4 to 5 years old plus. Inspect the interior of the case for calcium buildup or water residue. Okay, that's a good idea. Plug it into an extension cord outside the house. That's a great idea, inquiring mind. Alienware would love it if that thing still runs. They certainly would. Thank you, Geeky Heart. Yeah, it's an R13, and I'm trying to remember what year you can remove the PSU. What year model. I don't think the R13 still had the swing out CPU or the swing out PSU, but I don't remember. But thank you for checking, Geeky Heart. I know John Pylon messaged me as well when he saw all the stuff. Carmelita, you really think it would be fine? We'll see. And Faith Makes a Way says moisture around it can affect even if it didn't get all wet. Could be risky. Preferably a long extension cable, yes. Could Nate borrow someone's studio for a bit? The good thing is, Nate still has a PC set up upstairs. He just doesn't have all his voiceover stuff. He had moved all that downstairs because when I'm streaming, he obviously can't be recording voiceover. And when he's recording voiceover, I can't be streaming. So he had set up like a little voiceover station downstairs so that he can be as loud as he wants and it doesn't affect anything. But yeah, like his nice mic is down there. Like we're hoping all those peripherals are fine. They were up on a desk, but they were plugged into said PC. So I don't know. Inquiring Mind says if it wasn't underwater or being sprayed on, chances are good it's not damaged. Yeah, I don't know. I just don't know. The carpet and the carpet pad it was sitting on were definitely soaked. But I don't know if there was water above that. I also have to look at the bottom of the R13 and see if there's any venting on the bottom. But yeah, we're going to have to go through things one at a time. And everyone's been so nice. They've been messaging like, hey, did you lose any electronics? Did you lose this? Did you lose that? And I'm like, I don't know yet. Like, as far as how bad the damage is, like I said, it's going to get worse before it gets better. Depfos, we did not turn it on while it was still wet. We did not. It was plugged into the wall when it was wet, but it was not on. It was shut down, so there was still power running to it, but it was not turned on while it was wet. And it's now been up on a destroyed nightstand. And I say destroyed because the wood's all swollen on the bottom. But the top of the nightstand is fine. It's been sitting on top of a nightstand in a room with dehumidifiers and fans now for 5 days. So I could probably take the side off of it. That might help. Put the PC in the oven and bake it for an hour or two. I think it's an SSD. TGMDK. Honestly, that PC was my backup PC. Two or three PCs ago. So I don't remember all the specs of that PC in particular because it was 2 backup PCs ago. And again, like I can build us a new PC. It's funny for a lot of people. They're like, oh my gosh, the PC. I hope you didn't lose a PC. Due to the nature of what I do for a living, I could put together a new PC relatively quickly. What I'm most concerned about losing is all of the voiceover stuff that Nate had on there. He had a ton of work on there. And I mean, I could just remove the M.2, I guess. But he had everything all set up the way he wanted it on there. And I'd really love to recover that for him if I can. So we shall see. Also, it was a really nice PC. I had a real nice GPU in there. And maybe I could just take the GPU out and that would be fine. Like maybe I could salvage enough parts from it to put something new together that... I don't know. I don't know. But yeah, so that's where we are with everything. That's the update. I did want to start Star Wars Outlaws in the 20 minutes we have left of the stream before I have to go and get everything ready for the Intel Gamer Days Amazon stream. But I was going to play some Star Wars Outlaws on the Amazon stream as well. But I just want to make sure it's like content appropriate for Amazon because, you know, they're like, no, with the bad words and all that kind of stuff. So thank you to Intel for giving me a code for this game, by the way. Super appreciate it. And they said this, I don't know if any of you have been playing it, Star Wars Outlaws, but the folks at Intel were telling me that like the startup menu and settings and stuff can take a while. So I was like, oh, okay. So I'm like, maybe let's do that on Twitch so we don't have to worry about doing that all on Amazon. Steven says, do you get paid more if we lurk in the Amazon stream like creeps? I don't get paid more, but it does look better for Amazon the more people are watching it. So if you want to lurk, that's awesome. I appreciate the support. Lurk and click that little heart to like. That's awesome. That, and honestly, if you want to click any of the links below the stream and just open them up in a tab and then close them, that's also fine. You have to sign into all Ubisoft stuff before you can play. Okay, great. Yeah, bump the views, bump the engagement, bump the link clicks. That's all good because then Amazon's algorithm is like, oh, this stream is really getting people excited. Let's show it to more people. So that's helpful. Thank you. Steven says I lurk and don't say anything all the time like a weirdo. That is A-okay. We love the lurkers here in the Dragon Riders. Be a lurky turkey. I'll like, share, and subscribe on Amazon, says Rob. I don't even know. I guess you can share those streams. All right, let's see here. We'll see if we can start up Star Wars Outlaws for just a little bit and see if we can get past some of that, like, early stuff. Joker Joe, don't I know it? Someone posted, I'm sorry, I'm forgetting who it was, but someone posted instructions in the Discord on how to change your Amazon name. But I think it might change it overall, not just for chat, which is hard. Doesn't Amazon have a leak detector? Maybe they do. I don't know. I found a leak detector because, of course, after all this happened, everyone's like, you need a leak detector. So I started looking at them. And I found one that, like, attaches to your main water valve. And if it detects a change in water pressure over too long, it turns off your water valve. But it was, like, $3,000. I'm like, okay, well, I'm going to have to save up for that for sure, given everything else going on right now. I don't have $3,000 to get that flow leak detection thing. Maybe I'll reach out to Tom then, Paolo. Thank you for that. Yeah, just wild. Everything's wild right now. Yeah, money well spent in the long run. I mean, certainly better than what I'm going through right now. Okay, so let's see. Let's mess around with this game a little bit. Has anyone played this yet? Star Wars Outlaws? Doesn't look like there's a lot of people playing it on Twitch right now, but it's been out for a bit. Atomic Doc. Atomic Doc, thank you for the gifted subs. Oh my goodness. You wonderful, kind human. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Appreciate you, my friend. Ted, how are you? Welcome to my Twitch channel. I'm still around. I'm still kicking, talking about lots of different things. Today I'm talking about the woes of water damage and home ownership. Atomic Doc again! Oh my goodness, thank you! Welcome to all the new Dragon Riders that are getting gifted subs by the wonderful and generous Atomic Doc right now. Welcome, welcome. Kizerly says, Outlaws is so much fun, you can pet all the space animals. Okay, good. Alright, let's just see what we got here. New game with default settings? Sure. Game will save automatically when you see that. Okay. I'm going to turn up the volume on the game because it sounds like it might be a little quiet. Ah, Amazon UK and Amazon Com do not overlap, unfortunately. Bummer! Atomic Doc again!
Praise the sub.
Thank you, Atomic Doc. It really means a lot. Thank you. I'm mainly looking to see if there's like bad words or weird setup stuff because Amazon won't like that.
So, finally Zerek Besh is here.
Each of you represents some of the most powerful criminal organizations in the galaxy. Pikes,
Atomic Dog, thank
Crimson
you.
Dawn, Huts.
Armada
It's a golden
scholarship
age
expands.
for the underworld.
Praise the sun.
The Empire's little Death Star gets blown to pieces and the law is distracted by a rebellion that won't quit. It's an opportunity
I mean,
to
this
make
looks really good.
But, to my surprise, one of you sends a spy into my own house when I thought we all could share this feast.
Enough, Zero. I didn't come all this way to listen to lies while your Zedek Besharats skim off our spice lanes. Shuto.
You know, my brother was heir to the family fortune. He's gone now. Do you remind me of him? He always came first. Even at dinner. If he'd finished his meal, he'd just take my plate. All I could do was watch him chew. Go hungry.
What is the point?
If Zarek Besh wants partners, forget it. Been done. Doesn't work.
Partners? Weren't you listening? I'm starving. It's time to eat.
Rough.
I know, buddy. Just give me a minute. This'll work, right?
A new subscriber. Come, steel yourself. We are building an army.
Synopsis Grim and Zaya Pilot. Thank you.
Where is it? All right. Let's get you some food.
All right. Where do we get our little buddy food? Let's see what we have here.
I've practiced enough. Time for the real thing. Police scanner's quiet tonight. Hope it stays that way.
Where's the money? Kay, we had a deal. Getting the police to drop the case wasn't cheap, but you've shown nothing for it. I've checked with every fence in the workers' district, but they say you've got nothing but debts. Well, it's time to pay them or things will get messy. You've got 3 days. Sneak.
Ugh, we need some real food.
Okay, that's not gonna work. I don't see any other data pads or anything. It does look like a land axolotl. Hi, buddy. He's so cute. Anything else to interact with over here? No. The broken hook.
You're leaving a lot of money on the table.
Don't know the crew, don't like it.
If you change your mind, let me know.
Faith makes a way. I can't even figure out what that word would be.
No.
Like rhymes with
This
witch.
is-
Ah, my data spike.
Yeah, and it's broken. Some scrap rat was selling it in the square. Says he found it in Sixth Kin turf.
And now you're gonna say messing with the six-skin is a bad idea.
It's gonna get you killed.
That's another way of putting it.
You've got no crew, Kay. And you keep going it alone with high-risk scores that just go sideways.
You want it done right?
Ah, I see.
You do it
Faith.
yourself.
Thank you.
I get it. You've hit some bad luck.
Bad luck. I'm out of marks, I'm broke, and I live in an attic.
Why don't you stick around the Broken Hoof tonight? Fix yourself some dinner. Let me set you up with something small, an easy hustle.
Or you could just give me that job on your pad there.
Nice try.
Then I got plans.
Take some credits. For the data spike.
I'm good.
Then I'll put it towards your rent.
I said I'm good, Bram.
Okay, new quest item, broken data spike. Nice, the gore. I'm excited about that. I'm excited to check it out. Cosmic Jordan, welcome back.
We're not getting anywhere with a busted data spike. Come on, Nix. Let's see Preben. Then we break into Kleptarsis and steal the forged identicards from their safe. With any luck, they'll get us on a shuttle to the core worlds.
Repair the data spike at Preben's shop is the next thing we need to do. I mean, this is running really well. That's kind of the thing I wanted to see for the Amazon stream.
Okay? I need to give you something.
I don't even know why I'm picking up all this stuff, but if there's a shiny and there's something to interact with. Who's this guy?
What is it?
It's the bill for the 3 Miluran your little scud stole from me last week.
Hey, you don't know that was Nix.
I only ever seen one of him anywhere. You pay up soon, or I'm turning him in.
So Nix is my little buddy, I'm guessing. Oh, hello.
Kate, come here.
I like the fireworks.
Huh. All the merchants are out for the Kanto Cup.
Need a hand?
I probably don't have any money. Okay, I don't need those yet.
Shutdowns tonight. Police will be loaded with credits.
You have returned.
Okay, this is where I think I'm going to pause it for today because like I said, I'm going to play this a little bit more on the Amazon stream that'll start in about an hour. So if you are around and you want to hang out on Amazon, this is going to be an Intel Gamer Days sponsored Amazon stream starting at 3 p.m. at amazon.com/shop/Trisha Hershberger. I'm going to be talking about 2 laptops that are on really good deal for Intel Gamer Days, as well as some Intel CPUs that are on great deal in case you need to rebuild a computer because it was sitting in water. That's a thing. You could get a really good deal on an Intel CPU. And so I'm going to talk about all that, and then I'm probably going to play some Star Wars Outlaws. So come on by. Chicago says, I'll try. I'll be heading home then. Yep, even if you're just lurky turkey, that's great. You have to be able to laugh. Thank you for the air horn. Albarack, I hope that works out, my friend. Waterlogged working Alienware sounds like good content. It certainly could be. And Kizerly, here's another hug for everybody. Hugs for all of you, wherever you might be in life right now. Please stay safe, stay healthy, be kind to one another. And I needed that hug, so thank you for that. Appreciate it. Appreciate it. But yeah, let me run so that I can make sure that the laptops that I'm showing off on Amazon today are charged up, and I'm going to bring out my little table and get them all ready to go. But today's Amazon stream is going to be a little different because instead of running through a whole bunch of different products, I'm mostly going to talk about 2 laptops and then play some games. So it'll be a very, very chill Amazon stream today. It'll be very, very chill.
You have returned.
Yay, you can cry if you want to, said Classy. Thank you. I have quite a lot already. So yes, I'm trying to be positive. Thank you all for being amazing. Thank you to everybody who gifted subs today or bits today. You're all awesome, and thank you for being so understanding with everything. Whoa, am I seeing in chat that James Earl Jones passed away today? Holy cow. That's really sad. Give me another reason to cry. I believe you. I believe those of you that put that in chat, but I will also spend the next hour looking into that. All right, everyone. Try to, like I said, be kind to one another. Amazon stream will go live in about an hour, and then I will be live on an Intel stream tomorrow instead of the Gong Show, so Gong Show will be Wednesday. All right, just dropped in the last 30 minutes. So sad. All right, well, thank you for letting me know. Everybody hold your loved ones tightly. Watch some Star Wars or Lion King or whatever media of choice to celebrate the wonderful James Earl Jones. And yeah, I'll see you in about an hour on Amazon maybe. All right. Bye, friends. Thank you again. Bye.